It's just after midnight on a Sunday morning, and the sound of controlled chaos can be heard as producers, writers, and editors scramble to produce 3 newscasts. While most are asleep, the dedicated employees at Fox 5 Atlanta are gathering the news of the day. There's always something going on, and it's their job to report it. According to weekend anchor Denise Dillon, the hardest and perhaps most important part of the process is making the newscast relatable and understandable for everyone watching.
Sometimes we get these very complicated stories, very in-depth stories, but with television news, everything is condensed and shortened down to a 20-second video or a minute-and-a-half package, and you have to try to get all the facts and all the elements within that time limit, but put it in a form that it's easy for someone just out there listening to the television as they're walking through the house, doing their errands, making breakfast, can still get what's important out of the story and understand it.
Basically, it's a conversation with the audience. But before this conversation can begin, the news must be gathered. Whether it's a phone call to the station, scanner traffic,
Road, 519 Perkins Road, cross of Waterworks Road,
or an email, all modes of communication must be used. Then, it's up to the producers to decide what makes air.
We have to run the package.
Well, we gotta give job fairs.
Okay, okay, so it's between the home building and the bus off a bridge.
For some stories, a reporter will go out in the field, interview people, and put together a package, while other stories will just require a short voiceover for the anchor to read. Finally, after hours of hard work and some quick turnaround times, it's time to put it all together live for everyone to see.
Here we go. Opens up.
Good morning. From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta at 8 a.m.
And go.
It is a cool, clear morning around the metro area with another gorgeous day on the way, but
In addition to the latest news, people also expect a weather forecast. That's where meteorologist Steve Malone comes in.
I mean, I want them to get the right forecast, that's the first thing, that's the reason we're there.
But it's not always about tracking an approaching cold front or storm system. Sometimes it's the mere presence of the weatherman that comforts viewers.
Your weather knowledge is, it's kind of like a policeman's gun. It's in the holster, you use it 5% of the time. Most of the time you're just kind of walking around letting people know you're there, letting them like you. And that's kind of that's kind of our job in weather is, we talk about serious weather when it's time to get serious, but we try and keep it loose and try and keep it kind of fun, on the weekends.
After 2.5 hours of airtime and hours of hard work behind the scenes, the newscast is finally over. But even though the hours are tight and the job can get stressful, there are still things that make it all worthwhile.
And the cool thing about weather is that it's different every day. I've been a meteorologist here for 13 years, and every day is a little bit different. I mean, you get in the same patterns, and you've seen a lot of the stuff, the same, but the weather's always different. There's always a little something that's different about it. And then when you work in news, and news is always different every day, so there's always something different about every single day. So, you never get bored, working in TV weather.
I think the fun part of the job is the more behind the scenes, not the actual 2.5 hours of the newscast, which is enjoyable and fun when you can chat it up with a co-anchor or the weather guy or the sports guy, but also meeting the people and connecting with the people that we are actually talking to while we're on TV.